All right, y'all, what's happening? This is welcome to the Bookmap stream. It is Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern for our 1 hour of beautiful liquidity analysis. Right now, we are on a rocket ship on NASDAQ. ES is attempting to, but unfortunately, we have a little bit of a decoupled market, which makes it not the funnest price action. Most of the market is dropping pretty significantly, except for a couple of names. NVIDIA, now Microsoft has started to come along. NASDAQ is up 1.1%. ES is up only 0.3 and climbing, skyrocketing. So that's what we'll be playing for. My thesis was overall upwards today. This is starting to become pretty strong on NASDAQ and not a single pullback, which makes it a little iffy. However, I'm still just going to ride the calls up and up and up and up and up until it keeps on going. That's my thesis for the day. And of course, look for any kind of liquidity shift. Strong VPA setup across the books. I would love for ES to start joining the fun here too. Maybe 53.35 would be extraordinary. Once we hit 53.35 on ES, I will start to tighten up any stops because this is reaching a little bit of weird action. Now, ES faced beautiful profit taking. We went from 53.30 to 53.05, so about a 25-point move, which is great profit taking for an S&P. NASDAQ didn't take any profit taking, and it's launching. So if NASDAQ were to start profit taking, that'll provide a little bit more of the pressure for the decoupling, which is not fun. And up we go. And up we go. But that's what we're looking for today. $18,910 still climbing higher on Bookmap or on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is now up 110 points and going. ES is coming up nicely finally. It's been a very aggravating day because I'm having to watch the S&P go down with the NASDAQ go up, and I'm holding calls. So finally now, the S&P is finally starting to climb. And if we could take out 53.28, 53.30, we'll try to go higher here. The SPX GEX has shifted from 5300 to 5350 to 5315. Now still primarily 15, but building up to 40 and 50, which would be 30, 40 points higher, which would put the S&P right at 5380, which is my overall upside target for the week, is 5380. So it's interesting that they are correlating that data. And absolutely just blasting off. Absolutely blasting off. Still going. Still going. So I do need to make a decision here because I'm approaching 100% on these positions. And I'm going to roll up the stops on them. I was trying so hard not to type look up. I love it. I love it. 53.35 is liquidity. They've removed all lower side liquidity. They've hit a couple of buy side icebergs here. You see a 1,000 lot iceberg, which is going to send it to 53.35 and continuing on higher. If the rest of the market starts to become a tailwind and lifts up along with NVIDIA, which is the only name that's crazy, then we're going to launch, which is a good thing. That played into 53.80. We are going to launch. Right now, all signs point to 53.36. Now, my only concern is finding a decent song to listen to at the moment. Here's 53.30 liquidity and about to breach. Climbing, climbing, climbing. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I think this is where one of you would say LFG. Amazing. Excellent. 18,927. I feel like we're already launching. I'm talking about ES. NASDAQ is already launching. ES is not. ES is about to take out the prior highs, and it's going to go. But if it comes along with the NASDAQ, with NVIDIA, yes, ES&P will launch, and Daddy will be very happy. But we got to take out 53.80, which I think we just did put a new high in. Yeah, we did. We did take out the new high, but it's got to hold. 53.36 liquid. NASDAQ is going 18,931 and going. Amazing. Amazing. The bang, diggy, diggy, jiggies in the boogies, and up jump the boogie. There we go. Now I'm rocking out. So annoyed my broker got me. What happened to your broker? I'm up 200% on SPY calls. Nice pin. Well done. There goes ES 5330 coming on up into 5335 liquidity. Now 5360, although right now is quite light. If you see this little cat right here, let's see, where's my ellipse? That cat right there, although quite light at the moment, has been on there in weeks prior. If you go back and look last week, week prior, where they were building some decent liquidity up in this area. So I'll be looking for, if we do clear out the 5330 and they launch this thing into non-farm, I'll be looking for great liquidity in this area as we go higher. Now, the further higher we go today, the more aggressive I'm going to look to play into Friday. If they launch this thing in today and hit my thesis, if we hit 5380 tomorrow, I am going to swing a lotto put for Friday. I'm going to put on a 0 DTE, 50 point outside the money put. I'm going to pay a couple of bucks for it, and I'm going Monos Erebus on it. That's only if we launch into 5380 today. There is no volume price analysis or anything to support any kind of downside as of yet. However, non-farm payroll is notorious for large reversals. So I'm going to play upside on calls to 5380 if we get there, which is 50 points from current locale. And then once we make contact, I will be cleared hot on a 0 DTE 50-day output, or 50-point output. That's the goal. Sweet. ES is still going. NASDAQ is 18930. So far, there are no signs to sell at the moment. We had some atrocious price action to open this session, and finally we have a nice flows to the upside here. So far, roll your stops up. None of your stops should have been tripped. They haven't even taken out half of the prior candle yet. So right now you still should be in. I would say right now set your stops beyond 900. I would set your stops about 895, 896 or so. On NASDAQ, ES needs to be 5325, 5324, somewhere in that ballpark for any kind of stops. And head higher. Beautiful. Nice and easy. NASDAQ still going higher. Beautiful. And here comes a 53.30 test into liquidity, which is the first block, and now they're shifting up to 35 immediately. So still going. Still going. All green flows. 0 DT options flow is very strong. All call buying at the moment. All strong call buying across the board, except for Tesla. Tesla's put buying. NVIDIA, very strong call buying. Here comes 53.30, 53.35 up higher. Apple Silver giving up. Yep, they're climbing up here strong too. Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Florida Georgia line, you're terrible. Get out of my Spotify. I've been quiet the past couple of days. I have to crank some music. So for the 0 DT you just mentioned, if the ES hits 53.80, I assume you'll wait to take that 0 on a Friday and not take it today to expire on Friday. It depends. If we get up there today, which I don't expect 53.80 today, if we do that, then I will probably take it today, maybe. Maybe take a 2 DTE. If it happens tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. The stream this morning was like a WWE entry. Oh, yeah. Do you have a Spotify playlist you can share? Interested in trying out new music? Yeah. I got a bunch of... I've built a couple of playlists. a Christian-based, and then country, which is mostly 90s country because I don't listen to today's crap, and early 2000s rap. Yeah, extraordinary. If you're not into call, do you think 18900 would be a good place to look for an entry? Probably, yeah. Oh yeah, Beatles blow. Sold some video calls holding onto a runner. Nice. Well done, Dan. All right, 53.35 here. We're still eating into this liquidity. There are no signs of rejection just yet. No signs of rejection just yet. I want to be careful trying to leg this thing into 100%, because usually when you try to do that, you're not making technically sound decisions, you're making P&L decisions, but I'm almost there. If we take out 53.30, I'm going to roll my stops up and just kind of go hands off. Would you consider early Taylor Swift country? No, I would not. No, I would not. I went to high school right next to her. So her parents funded her whole career. She was not the most liked girl in town. If I theoretically have $50,000 and I want to invest in SPY, why wouldn't I buy like 17K worth of UPRO, a 3-time leveraged SPY, and then have it rest made 5%? Because leveraged stocks is risk. You're taking on 3x more risk. That's not something I would rather do to hold on long term. I'm very conservative, man. I want to buy and hold and not worry. And the best way to do that is to buy the S&P. You can do VOO, you can do SPY, heck, even QQQ would have been great. But for me, and in terms of my long-term port, no. Now, if you want to do some of that in your short-term trades, yeah, cool. Buy a leverage ETF. But that's up to you. I like to have a strong line of risk management between my long-term port and my short-term port. And at that line, risk does not cross. What's up, Toolman? Haven't seen you around lately. Good to see you. Swifty fans will get me. Yeah. All right, 53.26 heading into 34. Still, just kind of consolidating around 53.28 here. All skew is higher. They're putting on a touchdown at 53.10. 53.10 would put us back down in the morning low, which would just put us into a range day. But the skew right now is up to 53.35. Not trading at the open and do more child protection stuff. Wise full-time job. Nice. Yeah. Let's see. Russell bounced hard, man. New highs for the day on the Russell. Look at that. That was a crazy run. NASDAQ is holding at 918. ES is 53.25. The moves I was waiting for happened after I got shaken out. That's all right. I need to delete this day. Clear drawing. Yes. Morning high ES, that's where we currently are. Yep. We're sitting right on top of the morning high at the moment, which is about 3 points under the morning high for ES. NASDAQ is holding 916. Looks like another base to move higher. This looks like a little descending wedge for my pattern players. They're starting to put on some more buy-side icebergs, very minor buy-side icebergs. And that should bring us up to 53.35 if it were to hold. And NASDAQ is got liquidity here at 925. Any thoughts on the fact that spot gamma has us in macro resistance up here? Well, I mean, right now we are in a pretty strong uptrend through the move. So I think we're approaching a macro physical. From an order book perspective, we're approaching macro, but we're not there yet. I think the price action resistance on the macro scale is about, in the mid to upper 5300s. We're almost there, but we're not there yet, in my opinion. So you remember the order book rules king. The option chain comes out only after the order book. If there's it's because it's a derivative. It's a nature. It's by nature. It's a derivative of the stock market of the equities of the indexes. So now, if there's a heavy positioning there, I'm going to expect some positioning on the options chain there as well. But I know we just rolled right through 5,300, which is 14 points down, and now we're going to transact it a little bit up, which is 53.30.50, and then up to 53.80 on ES, which is about 53.60 or so on SPX. Well, we had that large blast off, and then now we're just kind of flagging up here at 920, 915 on NASDAQ. And ES is trying to hold here too. Is it 53.24 the morning high? Right now I have got, let's see, 53.28 as the morning high. Remember, it's the first hour high and the first hour low. So take the first hour, take the high price out the low price, and you'll get it, 53.28. There's the green response right there. $18,924. If this thing holds and clears, I'll get NASDAQ up to about 950. We'll get NASDAQ up to 950. Another test of the high right here. 53.30. Let's go take a look at ES. ES wants 53.35 right here. Here's another large green, building into it. Pretty low stress day for me though. Missed out on a couple opportunities there because I was expecting a touch more profit taking on NASDAQ. But other than that, man, very good day. Just low stress, chilling, sipping on my sisser over here, and looking for 53.35 on ES. Boeing to launch NASA astronauts into space. Man. Hopefully that's not the Soyuz 737 MAX. Let me sweat in my little space boots. I'm shaking in my little space boots. 53.30. Still holding the morning high right here. If we can absorb the morning high and break, up we go. Breaking door rips off Boeing rocket. Oh man. Terrible. Stacking a little bit, 53.20 here. What's up, Steven? How you doing, buddy? Good morning, good morning. Right now we are just waiting for 53.7 to break up to 53.35. A little oscillation up and down. Very, very slow price action at the moment. It's happy to see a little correlation start to occur. I don't like a diverged market, and we're starting to get a little correlation. The X's are starting to come up a little bit. XLV got hammered. XLV has now V recovered, which is good. XLF is a little green. And everything else is starting to come up a little bit, which is obviously bringing the S&P upwards. We saw the same thing yesterday. Yesterday opened with 9 of the 10 X sectors red. Definitely some heavy market breadth. It started to go green. Today we're doing the same thing so far. Now, is it going to continue? I don't know. ES is definitely wanting to hold 53.20 right here. And if we do clear, I'll look for 53.35. And at which we hit 53.35, like I said, that's when I'm going to start tightening up my stops. Until then, hanging out. I've got all my prop firms closed. I'm not dealing with that crap. I took my trade this morning and shut it down. And now it's just IBKR, baby. Pure honey. Just chilling right now. What's up, Trusted Buddy System? How you doing? Do you expect any resistance of NVIDIA at 1200 or to fly if we breach? I don't know, man. I was originally looking for some profit taking once NVIDIA hit 1,000. We did have one good sell, like one half session of a dump on NVIDIA, and then it launched, and after that, off we go. So once I check that box of the initial profit taking, overall, it's bullish into the stock split. There's not really any resistance on a euphoria-driven name. So that's the problem with NVIDIA. You can do a little analysis based on positioning and option chain and stuff, but right now, NVIDIA is doing something that doesn't really happen very often in history, if ever. So just buy the dip, if you get any dip, until the music stops and you pull a Tesla. That's all you can do. ES is still chugging along, 53.28. I'm looking for a move up to 53.35. NASDAQ is just chilling. Just chilling. Pretty boring stuff right now. The response to NVIDIA's at 1200 could drive the rest of the day. Possibly. Yeah. ES is now pinned in about a 3-4 point range here. So, but I'm still absorbing 53.30. XLF is starting to creep up here too. That's why more and more likely we're gonna breach this area and go up to 35. Option chain positioning currently is rolled up to 53.40. 53.40 is now heavy. GEX positioning on the options chain, which is 24 points higher. Let's see if Scott Stapp pulls out the microphone. Takes me higher. Anyone going to the Creed concerts this year? Love it. the Dallas performance. So yeah, it's never boring hanging with you, homie. That's right, Vampire. Boeing Starliner capsule just launched its first astronauts. Interesting. All right. Let's see. $53.28. Man, what kind of garbage price action is this? Come on. No trades for me except the call. See, VIX is rolling off 1281, new low of the day for the VIX, and new weekly low for the VIX, as they have now done yet another green to red move. That's what we've been seeing. That's the theme the past week. Pop the VIX, dump the VIX, pop the VIX, dump the VIX, using all opportunity of increased pricing to sell premium, close out calls and options, and roll off the VIX, roll off volatility. IV has even dropped from 22% to 16%. So every opportunity for the market to deflate premiums and sell to the farm, collect from the farm, that's what they're doing. And thus, tailwind effect for the market. Very cool. Watched the launch. Starliner Atlas V carrying 2 American astronauts. Calling it a day as my TOS is not reliable. There you go. Don't want to trade with unreliable tools. Is your favorite word extraordinary? I think that word is extraordinary. Extraordinary can be extraordinary. Let's go take a look at RTY. RTY is rejecting their upper level. YM coming off as well. Might be a good opportunity to short YM at the moment. Let's see what they can do. A little bit of red on Dow. Maybe a possible short entry on Dow there. What happens if you have 0 DTE calls that are in the money and the trading day ends? What happens to those contracts? If you have SPX calls, they just settle. They're just, SPX is going to be a cash settle position. They're not backed by underlying. So when the day ends, they settle, they close. And you just settle up with your broker. But then there's plethora, yeah. I've used a plethora amount of extraordinaries today, apparently. So if I have 0 DTE calls from 5 cents and they are at 150 at close, do they settle at their price? Yeah. Yeah, they settle at the close. So whatever the market closes at is what you settle up with. NVIDIA 1200 level seems a little difficult here at the money. Yeah, and rightfully so. It's a 0-0 level. There's always going to be holdups at 0-0 levels. 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, so on and so forth. That's correct, Kennedy. So if you've got a call, whatever the price is at settlement, that's what you're going to pay for it or get for it, whichever your exposure is on the option. So if I have a 0 DTE option today on SPX and it's $7.50 right at the bell, that's what's going to close at. It's going to settle for that, and the funds will be dispersed or given to you as according with your broker. Nasdaq's heading higher here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Things looking like it's going to shift higher at the moment. No sign of selling. In the absence of selling, the buyers win. I know that sounds a little obvious, but the main theme I'm seeing here is not necessarily a strength in buyers. It's a lack of sellers, which is a good thing. That just means tailwind effect. The VIX is still rolling over, which means tailwind as depositioning on the option chain starts occurring. IV continues to roll off, and up we go. As premiums deflate, here's the whole theme. As premiums deflate with IV roll-off, the positioning, the dynamic hedging parameters of the underlying holders changes. It shifts dynamically, which results in this tailwind effect. As their exposure to short delta declines, they can adjust their hedges as needed, which results in tailwind buying, and ES goes higher. It's beautiful. Been super busy in real life, so not much trading. I only know what IRL means because my son has started to use that in real conversation, and it drives me nuts. What's up, Hammy? Glad to have you back. And that puts me over 100% on my swing calls. I'm now 11 for 11 on swing positions. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Slinging it. 53.35 overall to the upside. And once we hit 53.35, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm rolling up my stops. Roll them up. Because that is going to be a hold up area. Breakout. When you say that you'll be premium 50 points out of the money, I assume that's DS. I don't know what DS is. Getting that gabagoo. That's right. Debit spread. No, that will not be a debit spread. I'm just going to do a naked put. Well, I want to choose my words carefully. I'm not shorting a put. Usually you'll use naked when you're shorting positions, but I was just doing just a long put, approximately 30 to 50 points out of the money on SPX, was expiring on Friday. Once we get up to 53.80. Until then, I'm riding this call into oblivion. There we go. Here he comes. Absorbing. We had that typical ascending triangle, which is bullish. Break the highs, 53.30. We had absorption of the prior morning high, and now here's 53.35, like a freaking symphony. Beautiful. You don't have the margin for a naked call. You're kind of mix and matching stuff there. I didn't say anything about a naked call or shorting positions. I'm not shorting any positions whatsoever. I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm taking a long put. 53.35 coming up. Making that chicken cutlet money. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm taking on Friday, once we hit 53.80, I'm taking a long put that's 50 points out of the money. So I'm buying a put that expires Friday that's 50 points out of the money. 30 to 50 points out of the money. Once we hit 53.80 on ES, and there's somewhere around there. And that's only because, like I said, there are no signs right now for any kind of sell-off from a VPA standpoint. However, I'm going to put on a very small lotto because non-farm payroll is notorious for reversals. Until then, I'm riding my calls up. So that's my thesis I'm playing here. Right now, there is no basis on which the market will fall, except for the fact that non-farm payroll typically is great for reversals. We just tapped 53.35, right on my money. That is the target. So because I'm sticking to my guns, I'm going to roll my stops up on my positions and lock in profit and take my hands off. I'm going to lock in about 90%. 90%. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Man, the liquidity today has been extraordinary. The icebergs have been extraordinary. They bought up those icebergs on the way up here. You see that? All these buy-side ice coming up right into 53.34. No scalps today. I haven't even touched this crap. Scalps. Guess I should have, but still just kind of climbing up here. 53.35 into. Once we take out 35, now I need to look higher and to see if they're going to start managing liquidity. We do have some. If you zoom in, we've got 53.40 and 37. They are starting to manage. Still small potatoes, but they're managing it. If I want to climb higher, I need to start managing higher liquidity. So far, so good. 53.40. Now the options chain posted the GEX up to 53.40. Let's see if it's still there. In fact, it is. In fact, it's grown even larger. That's extraordinary. There's a plethora amount of GEX at 53.40, which is extraordinary. Out OM with 120%. I wanted to take profit since I'm already well past the weekly target. Beautiful. Thanks for everything. Was the calmest trading experience in quite some time. Nice hello, Dan. Isn't it great? Well done. It's pretty awesome when you're just swinging positions and it's nice and easy when the VPA setups are strong. This is one of the strongest VPA setups I've identified in a couple of months, in a couple of weeks. So I went a little bit bigger on this position, a little bit more confidence on this position. So it's already destroyed my weekly goal on this one. I'm going to keep on going. It was a good target for NASDAQ. Right now, 892. 892, 900, somewhere in there. Or 892 to 19,000. I'm sorry, I keep saying that wrong. 982 up to 9,000. 19,000. Talking like I got peanut butter in my mouth. 20% on 70 TEs. Nice, Kennedy. It's been a minute since I've been in the Discord. What's up, BSW? I've been slowly building back a small account to rejoin one day. When did you get in that call? 3 days ago? I joined in about 10:25, 10:30 on the call. Can I get a recap? Yeah. So, let's see if I can do this. I can't really show that. I don't have my chart set up for this for the Discord for the YouTube right now. If you're looking at the daily chart on ES and you go all the way back on the daily, 4 days ago, we began to bottom wick. The big thing for me was the buying climax on Friday, May 31st. We had a huge dump, strong recovery. Another dump again on Monday with a bottom wick, which is where I elected to start going long into the overnight hours on, was it Tuesday, yesterday? So my thesis was, if they close the candle, a bottom wick on Monday, then I'm going to go long because that would be two major bottom wicks going to higher. So what did I do? Overnight action, I set a limit to buy a swing position that's about 15 to 20% reduced on premiums at the close. So I wasn't looking to buy right at the close. I just set a limit to buy 20% lower. I got filled on a dump, and then it's been all gravy train with biscuit wheels since then. If you look on the daily chart, though, from Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, we have 3 by large bottom wicks, all with increased volume, which shows that every time the liquidity has gone lower, that is an opportunity to gather inventory, to go higher. Whenever I see that type of price action of consistent and aggressive bottom wicks, that is accumulation to go higher. and that's what I played. And my target first, once we cleared 53.20, we're coming up 53.80. All VPA, volume price analysis. So not only do we have aggressive bottom wicks like that major move on Friday, which was the best executed day of my entire 13 years of trading, but we also had aggressive price action. So we had price action and volume. I haven't been looking at the daily lately, shaking my head. Oh man, you got to look at the daily. In my opinion, every single person listening to my voice right now, you need to start your day on the daily chart. Even if you are a scalper, start your day on the daily chart just to see where the momentum is. If the momentum is crazy up, then don't sit there and look for micro scalps on the scalping on the shorts on the scalping side of things. Scalp long. Play in the direction of the trend, even on the micro scale. Wait for the pullbacks. Wait for the BTDs if we're long. If we're in a strong downtrend, then you short the highs. Start your day on the daily. Do yourself a favor. You'll do extraordinarily well. You'll have a plethora of successful trades. They move slower, but trying to build a system of confidence. Oh yeah, that's what you want to do. Trust me. That's what you want to do. I haven't even looked to see what's it doing now. Fair transparency, though, I did get smoked on a CL long this week. I tried to buy the dip on CL. I got destroyed. Make an old lady chuckle. Laughter is the essence of youth. Haven't been, yeah. So 53.34 ES still heading higher. We have another 18 points or so until we have higher GEX. Pressing into 73. Amazing. If they clear this area, we'll look for 40, but this is a nice strong uptrend at the moment. Slowly grinding, but it's making its way higher. It's doing everything it's supposed to be doing. We have liquidity shift higher, we have options chain higher, we have VPA higher, we have correlated markets higher, we have VIX going lower, we have IV coming off. All signs point to upside. So, in my opinion, keep riding the gravy train, and then we'll play it higher. Since we finally hit 53.35, I am tightening my stops up, but 53.40 looks likely. Overall, I'm trying to get for 53.80, which is another 45 points higher. Was it 45? Any ES levels significant today? Yeah. Oh, I didn't put the significant levels in, did I? I'm pretty sure it's 4. Let me go take a look at my book. Get the book. Get the book. Get the book. No. It's not S4. R4. No, it is R4. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong day. It was actually R1 and R4. Both of those. There we go. 53.37 coming up to 53.30. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Just watching premiums inflate. There we go. Eating into 53.37 into 40. Still going higher. No need to sell yet. There's no signs of selling. There's no signs of topping. There's no top wicks. We're just riding up stops. If you're in a zero, make sure you're mitigating your risk, just in case we do have a profit-taking candle. But right now, there are no signs of selling yet. We're just kind of grinding on up into 53, 53. You see there on the bookmap perspective, they are rolling liquidity higher, which is what we want to see for higher prices. They continue to manage liquidity higher. So So to buy a long put outside the money means to buy a put in the white area of the screenshot. No. The white area of that screenshot is a outside the money call, but that's inside the money put. So you want to go north of that position in the black area to the north. That is an outside the money put. Long put. Here comes 53.40. And I'm going to roll my stops up once again. That should allow me to lock in 100% while allowing the price action to breathe. Extraordinary price action. Extraordinary price action. I love it. Very little risk right now, man. It's very easy. I don't want to use the word easy. I hate using the word easy. I get on to people for using the word easy. Very low risk. Roll up the stops and take your hands off. No need to get out of positions. Roll up your stops, even if you're long futures, there's no need to get out, and take your hands off. Upwards. Well, that's why I'm here, Matt. Ask questions, buddy. That's why I'm here. A little Sturgill Simpson. Turtles all the way down. Great song. Sorry I don't have any invigorating trading commentary for y'all today. There's only one thing going on right now, slow grind up, and we're just doing it. Very low risk unless you're an eternal doom bear trying to short every push higher. Yeah, I wouldn't short this with my mother-in-law's money. $53.40. No need to invigorate us. We're just making the money. Making the money. I love it. About to go meet with his. In all honesty, I love my mother-in-law. I'm just kidding. That's just, a fun joke. But my mother-in-law's pretty awesome. All right, there is 53.40. And now look, what happens when they absorb 53.40? Immediately, they put on 48, 44, 51, so on and so forth. So they're still stacking liquidity higher. Now, not as much. However, I'm still going to roll up my stops and take my hands off. I'm not going to preemptively get out of a trade. I'm not going to start, launching puts or anything like that. I'm just going to roll up my stops. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy shorty squeezy. Oh, man. Could we see NASDAQ for just a second? Sure. 18,973 climbing up here. They have very little liquid. So on deck is 19 thou. 19 thou, and that's it. I don't usually copy trades, but what'd you do? You're welcome, Nancy. You're welcome. Been down 4 contracts. 4 accounts. Nice. 18,921. Beautiful. You're up, 40 points per? Apple's launching now with it. TLT is now recovered. XLF is recovered. All of X's is starting to grow a little bit green breadth here. So we went from 70% red market to about 30% red market. So the breadth has shifted. That's one of those market awareness things where can you get some tailwind effects to play. All right. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Wow. $44 a contract. Exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. How long is Bookmap stream? Is 1 hour. Yep. So it closes here in 10 minutes. Exceptional. Large lot sell 838 right at 430. So for the first time this morning, we're seeing large lot sell orders transact right at 5340. And look, all the major liquidity zones have kind of trimmed off. The major liquid is at 5340 and halted and down to 5335. What will make you close your calls or maybe go on shorts? I won't touch shorts today unless the whole market dynamic shifts today. I ain't touching shorts. Well, let me step back. There are two instances where I will take shorts today. If the whole market dynamic shifts and they start selling off aggressively, I'll pop into something. Or if we hit roughly around 5380. If we do that, I will pop into a Friday expiration. Thank you. Friday expiration, 30 to 50 out point. 30 to 50 outside the money put. Long put. Other than that, I ain't touching shorts. Swing zero. Nah, I need 2 days. Yep, 5380 ES. Ish. Right around in that area. You clever. I try to be. Other than that, though, now in terms of your other question, when am I going to close out my calls? I don't know, How you doing? I'm going to set a trail and stop. I'm going to take my hands off. I'm going to go grab some gabagoo. Liquid ain't giving no reason to close the calls. Over here, how you doing? For lunch, I'm going to get some Ray's pizza. Thank you. 53.35 liquid's coming on. That is 5 points down, 500 large lot. We just had a no, I got to cancel that out. That's not another one. But everything's still bottom wicking. Why don't you call your mother till I said love it. I never know when to get on my long swings. I see 50% up and I immediately take it. They usually ride higher, so I just evaluate again before taking a ride. Well, I'll tell you this, PB&J. Hey, what kind of jelly do you like on your peanut butter and jellies? And how do you build your peanut butter and jelly? I found a strategy a long time ago where if you put peanut butter on both sides of the bread, the oil in the peanut butter will not allow the jelly to make the bread soggy. So I go peanut butter on both sides, and then usually I get a nice little high-quality grape, maybe a strawberry if I'm feeling antsy. Fantastic peanut butter and jelly. And then you could do a grilled peanut butter and jelly. You ever done a grilled peanut butter and jelly? Oh, man. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, so there are two types of that. PB&J. Oh, crunchy peanut butter. Fantastic. I haven't had crunchy peanut butter. I haven't had peanut butter in forever. Grilled it. Amazing. Yeah. All right, so here's the deal. When it comes to retail traders, typically, you are exiting the trade when you should be adding more to the trade. You're getting out when you should be either getting in or adding more to the trade. So I'll tell you that. Obviously, that's not a hard and fast rule over here, but, whatever. Ask your mother. But in order to hang on to positions longer, there are two things you need to manage. One, your trailing stops. So for me, example now, I'm holding on to swing calls. I'm not getting out. I'm going to let the market get me out. I'm going to set a good high-quality stop that's beyond liquidity because I don't want to be liquidity swept, and I'm going to take my hands off. Now, that shifts once I hit my target. Like right now, for example, I've already blown through 53.30 and 40. I don't want to give back a major profits on a major reversal, but I also want to give it a chance to go even higher. So I'm going to set my stop about where I think the option will be if I were to get about a 5 or to 10 point pullback back under liquidity of 53.28. I'd say 10 point, 12 point liquidity. And I'm going to set my stop there and take my hands off. The other side of that thing is you need to be a little bit more tuned up with your technical analysis. If the market is ready to break out and you catch a call and you close out when it first starts to break out, you're going to cut your legs out from under you. And you're going to give back, I know it's fun to lock in profit. You see green, you take green. Yeah, but there are times where you want to let that baby run. because you're going to cut your legs out from under you. And that's where retail gets in the habit of taking huge losses but very small profits, because you're desperate to take that green off the table when you see it. But when it goes red, you're desperate to get it back, so you let it run, when it needs to be the other way around. And the thing is, the more in tune you get with a technical setup, the better your little spidey sense in your gut will feel when you're taking the right trade or taking the wrong. Do you consistently short the very lowest price of the day? Do you consistently buy the very highest price of the day? Then you're not really getting entries where you need to be. And you're not giving yourself enough time, kind of like what Omid said there. When you're dealing with zeros, you have very little time to be correct or incorrect. You think my peanut butter, jelly, and turkey sandwich is bad? You all know about oatmeal, peanut butter, and tuna? You are killing. There's no way that's correct. There's no way. Come on, you just gave me some banger of food suggestions the past 3 months, Mr. 50. Don't do this to me. Not like this. Not like this. Agreed. I'm adding to that. I'd like to take the mindset that derivatives are a vehicle for you to do profit for higher upside with lower risk to spread, which is why position sizing is paramount. Yep. Exactly. That's why when people ask me, what do I think is better, futures, stocks, or options, I don't think any of them is better than the other. I think they're all applicable tools to use at the current environments. When you have a high confident move that you want to capitalize on that's really good for your system, then throw on some options. If it's something you want to speculate on, then you back it down, maybe some futures or maybe a stock trade. If you want to go minimal risk, it's stocks. Nothing in trading is minimal risk as buying a stock, especially if it's a blue chip, because it's always going to go up eventually. So, learn when to put on options, when to put on futures, when to put on stocks. What about NVIDIA? Here's my question. How do you find out about an oatmeal peanut butter tuna sandwich? How do you even come up with that? Even if it is good, how do you come up with that? The only way I could see come up with that is that you happen to go to the grocery store, you happen to have bought you happen to buy a bread, you bought tuna, you bought some peanut butter, and you bought oatmeal, and then you happen to have dropped the bag and it kind of exploded and accidentally created a conglomerate of all this stuff on a sandwich, and you happen to pick it up and you tripped over and fell, and the sandwich accidentally went in your mouth, and you're like, hey, this is actually pretty good. I'm going to make this. Other than that, I don't know how you come up with that combination of sandwich. $53.35 is lower liquidity. In college, we used to make garbage can meals, whatever we had. Oh yeah, I've done that too. Yeah, but there are limits to that. Morbid curiosity road, and they got some on their hand to throw it away. Yeah. You got peanut butter on my chocolate. All right, I got 1 minute, and I have to shut down the Bookmap stream. That is the hour of the week. I appreciate y'all asking great questions, and of course, a little bit of fun there at the end, discussing sandwich theory, which I'm also passionate about. So 11:30 Eastern. It is now the hour. Appreciate you hanging out with us. If you have any questions, let me know. I've got a channel in the Bookmap. I got a channel in the Bookmap server you can ask questions in, or you can head over to my Discord server as well. We do this every single morning, usually until about 12:30, 12:45 Eastern Time, 11:45, depending, somewhere if the market's moving. Hope you have a fantastic day. Let me know if you have any questions. Fantastic, dude. I'm still in my calls. I'm rolling up my stops. I'll let y'all know when I exit. Until then, I'm out.